We've covered a lot of things on that park place. We've covered attendance, we've covered walls, we've covered construction, we've covered sewage leaks, we've covered all kinds of stuff. But never once that I thought we were going to cover trash cans. But trash cans we must cover. And I think it's an important story because everybody is talking about it within the community. A lot of maybe people that you would call pixie dusters are picking up on the fact that, quality is dropping substantially. And I suppose it's because of trash cans that people are actually saying that. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this story right here from Walt Disney World News Today. World Showcase medallions replaced with stickers on trash cans in EPCOT. Okay, all right.
All the
I understand.
cheap,
Stickers.
lousy ways to save money while you're spending $400 million on a failed Indiana Jones movie.
I share that resentment.
You didn't. Well, of all the cheap, lousy ways to save a buck.
Indeed. That's very apt for this, but this by Lauren Strackner, I do believe, September 24, 2025. Multiple trash cans in Epcot have seemingly been updated, with the classic gold medallions for World Showcase replaced with flat stickers across the park. This is how crazy the standards have actually dropped, folks. And this is why we have to cover this, because there are little indicators, or little indications that the quality has dropped, that these show standards have slipped. And I think this is very representative of a larger issue, which is why even pixie dusters are like, what's going on here? Go ahead, Marvin, please.
Well, I mean, look, the Disney trash cans are a thing. Like, they made merchandise of them. People document them.
Right.
They were always, the themed trash cans were always like a huge part of that Disney difference. And if you look, Vash, if you scroll up to that other one up there, it looks like they've taken the little push door off of the trash can as well. I think that's because trash cans lately in the parks have been overflowing so much. You used to never see overflowing trash cans in the parks. Now you see it all the time. I walked into Epcot and I sent in photos of this. There was an overflowing trash can coming from the parking lot into Epcot, and I got in at like 9 a.m. When I left around 2-3 o'clock, it was still overflowing. So they're just not changing the trash cans out either. It's
right,
absolutely ridiculous. These stickers, they're going to peel. People are going to pick at them. It's going to be mind-numbingly stupid. And at the same time, Epic Universe has actual like carved trash cans.
Yeah, I mean they're very well themed. They're appropriate for each of the specific portals that you actually enter into. And folks, to demonstrate the quality difference here, because I think a lot of people maybe not be familiar with what these medallions looked like before. Walt Disney World News Today was kind enough to include in their article what these things look like, and you can see right here they were actually like metal plates that were attached or fixed to these trash cans before, and now they've been replaced by stickers. This is why we're talking about this, because this is a dramatic reduction in quality. And look, those metal plaques right there, obviously they were cast, and you had to, I guess, manufacture them in mass in order to fit every single trash can. But they weren't elaborate decorations, I don't think. This wasn't going completely, like you said, Marvin. They have sculpted and very, very well themed trash cans to every single portal, right? They didn't necessarily do that with Epcot when it came to the various pavilions, but this was a way of setting these apart from maybe your normal trash can fare that you would experience in other parks, or maybe even other parts of Epcot. To take those plaques or those medallions and replace them in this fashion it absolutely is crazy. And this is why pixie dusters are going, what is going on right here? I mean, I think Bell Fi on Twitter was like, this is shocking. I mean, I'm shocked that this is actually happening right here, because, and you can see it right now, one of the reasons why you don't use stickers is because the lack of definition makes them hard to see and hard to read. So it's not even just, changing the materials out, but the quality by which it's actually handled is absurd. Ron, I'll go to you. Your experience with this, what are your initial thoughts here? What are your initial reactions?
Clearly, this is the move to get people to stop eating off the trash cans in Epcot. That's what they're doing. I'm kidding about that, by the way. What's funny to me about this is not the only place that we've seen this exact cheap out on the part of Walt Disney World. Tiana's Bayou Adventure, there's like a car out front, and it's decorated with all stickers instead of it. I'm like, literally. The very front of that thing has a sticker on it where it should be like a plaque type device like these were in the past. It's such the antithesis of the Walt Disney Company from just 6 years ago and beyond, that There was a time when no Disney guest would ever think that Disney would resort to doing something so freaking cheap, because Disney, first of all, the prices have gone up, so it shouldn't be cheap, right? I mean, they
getting
keep
a more premium
doing,
experience. You're right, Ron.
right. They keep doing stuff like this. They keep cheaping down while raising the prices. And I'm like, it's like you can't keep raising the prices at Walt Disney World levels and give people the Six Flags experience, or less than the Six Flags experience. I mean, there's people that can go to Fun Spot and have a better time nowadays. And only
even
the
more
Florida
so than this,
locals.
I mean, like there are areas right now where the trash cans are not themed at all.
Oh, yeah.
And the TTC used to have its own themed trash cans, and I'm pretty sure those are now just plain brown. And I think some of the ones on Main Street USA are just plain brown.
Yeah, it's just unacceptable. It's just
Like,
unacceptable.
they sold merchandise of this.
Right. It is something that sets, at least in years past, it's what set Disney apart, right? To have something. Look, I get it. It's trash cans. But Walt was pretty big into it. Walt Disney and his crew of Imagineers actually developed the trash can functionality or the design for it, like with the flaps and everything like that, because they didn't want anything that somebody would throw something away and you would smell it and stuff like that. So the flaps are there in order to keep that trash within this kind of enclosed kind of I guess waste bin right there, right? Yeah. And it was better for the overall guest experience, and you just kind of set that to the side and really focus on the show. And Walt was very specific about, like, okay, you have to have a trash can within a certain amount of feet, because if you go beyond that, people, they don't discard their trash in those waste bins. They do it with it at the park.
It's like 30 steps. Yeah, it's like we'll drop trash after 30 steps with it.
It was something like that. Go ahead,
I still think that this has a lot to do with the inclusion key. And I don't mean that because obviously this doesn't seem like it has anything to do with one key over another inclusion. But here's the thing. There's been so much focus placed on that inclusion key, which with what that's actually doing is minimizing all of the focus to a percentage of people that's maybe 2%, 3% at the most. And it's a huge distraction from everything else that's going on at the parks. And so they're dumbing everything else down, and they're not realizing how important safety is, how important show is. And while inclusion kind of falls into the envelope of courtesy, which was the key. I'm like, when it first came out, I'm like, but that's part of courtesy. Why would we need a separate key for that? Well, Unfortunately, courtesy has actually gone by the wayside now. And again, cast members at Disney do make all the difference, and there are still a lot of good ones, but I've never seen the higher percentage of ones that will just ignore you as I have lately. And it goes into all of this.
I honestly, I almost think that's a Gen Z thing too, because like when I went to Epic Universe, anyone that was like over the age of like 25 was wonderful. At Epic Universe, the team members, anyone under the age, visible age of 25 was the worst. Like literally, you could be standing in front of them and they won't look at you, or won't stop having a conversation with the other team member or cast member. It's a major issue, I think, with a lot of the kids that are starting to work at these theme parks now, and maybe that boils down to the way they're being trained.
Yeah, or the lack thereof, or there just isn't a lot of emphasis on the details, on the special little things that used to set Walt Disney World and Disneyland apart. Like Ron so beautifully pointed out, when you prioritize other things over the I guess the stalwarts that used to differentiate your company's product, well, then you're going to get those things in lieu of others. And
they literally cannot advertise based on the Disney difference anymore, because if they did, it would go the wrong direction for them.
That's gone.
That's a fair point. And Ron, I do think you mentioned it before, so let's go ahead and end this with this clip.
And Dreamer's Point is the antithesis of the idea that Walt had this incredible optimism and hope for the future, that if we all work together and we all dream together, we could build the impossible and make it our reality.
Did you just say that that's the antithesis of what Walt wanted?
That's why we play it, Ron, because this is the antithesis of what Walt wanted.
I always point this out whenever we play that clip, that made it through several people, but because it actually was put out on social media.
Wow.
Yes.
Also, I mean, the camera person didn't catch it, the director didn't catch it, the editor didn't catch it, and the social media person didn't catch it.
I mean, the next thing you know, they're just going to be talking about Shape language.
If we talk about shape language and the shape language of stickers, I
And
suppose.
so what we've tried to do is really bring that shape language from the architecture.
But like what we love to talk about at WDI is shape language. And we often refer to shape language.
There's such iconic shape language in Spaceship Revetti Attraction. We really wanted to make sure that we fused that throughout the space.
Shape language. They talk a lot about it, so I don't know why they have such bad shape language when it comes to stickers versus medallions, but c'est la vie. That's what
So
we're at right now.
isosceles.
Somebody asked if like in the chat they were asking like, oh, were people trying to steal the medallions? No, like they were welded on. Like they
Yes.
they're coming off.
No, they've just cheaped out.
They just cheaped out, and
Again, you paid $250 million for the Acolyte. You paid $400 million for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Dysentery. and the parts of your I can't take credit for that. Nerdrotic coined that phrase. The one aspect of the one part of your company that was still generating money, that's where you're not putting your money. It's where you're cutting corners. You're raising the price and taking it away. My big like catchphrase when it comes to anything Disney was, well, people liked it, so it had to go.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.